Hey there, and welcome to Giargo Plays Games. Today we're looking at the completely amazing um, Control from Remedy. Remedy makes such games as Max Payne, Quantum Break, and a number of other iconic games. Control is uh, strange. That's the only way to describe this game. Um, Um, Basically, it's the Federal Bureau of Control, as you can see on that sign there, which is basically a department that looks after paranormal research because there's these objects of power that have lives of their own and possess things. And you basically are tasked with investigating them and ending the threat. So as you can see, Control has some interesting battle mechanics for sure. They're based on the gun that you have, which is called the service weapon, which bears some explaining, as well as these telekinetic powers. Now, not only do I have this kind of pull, I have this shield power, which can come in very handy. And I have a nice dash move that can get me out of harm's way as needed. And then, as you can see, there's all sorts of these, crazy bad guys who also have an assortment of powers. They're called the Hiss, and the Hiss is basically possessed members of the FBC. That you can actually see some of them floating. Where's a floating one? There, right there. I could actually shoot them, but I don't really want to. The game starts in a really interesting way. Your main character, Jesse Fadden, is basically talking to someone that you don't know who it is at the start, and it kind of gets explained as the game goes on. And she finds her way into the Bureau because her brother was kidnapped by them years ago. She swiftly realizes there's a lockdown in effect, but somehow was able to get in, and moves into an area where she actually gets into contact with this gun, which is the service weapon, which could be configured into different types of weapons. This is like a shotgun, and then this is, your normal kind of pistol. The service weapon does not have ammo. It recharges itself, which is pretty wild. And, well, that's neat. Can I get in there? And it also is heavily modifiable, as you can see here. So I have two types of weapons so far, grip and shatter. There is also a spin weapon that I have to pay money to unlock. And as you level up, you can actually increase the mods that you have for your gun. And the mods obviously do certain things like renewing your energy and reload efficiency and stuff like that. There's some currencies. There's also personal mods as well, which basically help you, evade energy cost, shield strength, launch energy cost gets lower. These things are, little perks and boosts, but you also have level ups, which you can't really see here because you can only level up at certain areas. And there's a bit of a Metrovania style aspect of it that you keep getting this higher clearance level as you go through this place called the Oldest House. I have level 3 right now. And then there's, things like this where you see a radio. You can turn the radio on. And then there's always these collectibles where, you bring up these little documents that actually shed a little bit of light into what the FBC is all about. Super Carla. The best Hubert. So you get to learn, some of these people. And as you explore as well, you find these tapes that kind of tell you stuff. And then there's music. There's this American Overnight, which is basically a radio show that signals the FBC to things happening. And then there's these videos that basically explain to you, what the research sector is, what the FBCs are, what an object of power is, by Dr. Darling, who's kind of the head of research here. Which is really neat because when you find them, it's kind of fun to figured out his snipers. Okay, and then you get information about the different types of hisses that are here. One of the neat things is if I was to do this, Flowey, like the destructibility of this world is really pretty funky. I mean, it's just wild, the stuff you could do here, and you can pretty much break apart everything you see, which is technologically pretty marvelous if you really think about it. The fact that you know, there's so much to do. There's these little bomb shelters that are mixed through here, and usually when you open them, and I've already opened this one, but there's some items and stuff like that you can find. So this place is called the Oldest House. So it's this huge, massive building that just keeps getting bigger, and has all these little secret pockets. Like down here, I found this one really neat. You can play this music, and you read this analysis that, you know, they're trying to figure out how this music makes you feel. So there's this soundproof listening room, which is so cool. And, you know, they'll play the music for you and measure. I don't know why the music did start. Let me try that again. It worked for me earlier. But anyway, little tweaks like this. There's no enemies in here. There's no, you know, essential a thing for you to find in this area. But, you know, it's still kind of fun. What I like about this combat system is you can actually hold your pulled things for a long time. And in this game, there's something called control zones as well, which are basically kind of the hubs of the game. That, you know, it's where you kind of level up from, you teleport to, you know, it's all these kind of neat aspects of just this weird dudes in chairs. Okay, that basically just add a little bit. Oh, what's that? Personal protection. Where's that? It's just a weird mission that just popped up for me. Let's see what that is. Discharge. Go to the mailroom. Okay, I could do that. Just need to find a control room, and I'll go to the mailroom. So, as you just saw, every now and then you get these interesting extra missions that reward you with extra mods, currency, all that stuff that can be very useful when you're going through here. Oh, there's some stuff in here. Like that you could just open every door in this game. I mean, the attention to detail in this title is ludicrous, really. It's what I like best. I have a big love for mid-century modern architecture and furnishings, and this game obviously has a lot of that, so it's pretty cool that you know, you can play through this world where you're getting all sorts of mid-century modern beauty as part of the just the standard game. So I'm in the research center, and I'm looking for Professor Darling, who is kind of a linchpin in all the stuff that's happening around here, but not much really is known about him yet, aside from the fact that, you know, he does talk a lot about all the weird things that happen in this world. So that's the elevator. If I could just find a control point. Okay. So, Dimensional Research, Paris, oh, Dr. Darling's office. Let's try up there. Let's see what's going on in his office. What I like too is they have that old mail tube system, which I find awesome. Can I put you in there? No. Worth a try. Okay, let's check out Dr. Darling's office. See what's going on in here. Yeah, why not?
I've been fielding questions recently.
Darling's budget. Outside. Squeaky wheel. So there's some suspicions about Darling and the fact that he... Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. Look at all this stuff.
What's the deal with the Hedron resonance anyway? Fuck.
Like, I mean, come on.
Despite what you
look at this.
may have heard, HRAs are not monitoring devices. We're not tracking your movements. Or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing an HRA.
Huh.
Think of them as a life preserver. Only instead of water, the thing HRAs protect you from is classified. One day that classified, not water, might pour in, and you'll be glad you got an HRA keeping you afloat.
So
if you don't have an HRA, don't worry. It'll be quick and painless. Kidding. I'm kidding. We're making more.
wow. So the HRAs are what the people who haven't become Hiss are wearing. And these are devices that protect you from what is making the Hiss turn people. So what is truly fascinating about this game? I mean, at the end of the day, the action. Yeah, there's powers. There's you know, all sorts of tweaks to kind of the standard action game milieu, as you would call it. That's not the interesting part, honestly. The interesting part of this game is the story beats, the holy cow, there's a lot of these guys. Is this X-Files meets Twilight Zone meets I don't even know what Quantum Break, Alan Wake level of weird sci-fi narrative-driven expose that you just really don't see a lot of. You know, this kind of stuff is pretty amazing. But as you can see the combat, there's a lot of these guys floating here. Whoa. Like, as you can see, there's just a great deal of cool... I think there's still someone floating around here. Oh, okay. More guys. You know, there's a lot of neat stuff you can do, and as you level up, you get more neat stuff you can do. But that, you know, going into a room and fighting some randos, that doesn't really interest me. Although it is engaging, and it's, I would say, the best combat that Remedy's ever made in their games. But what is really interesting about this game is in fact kind of the story beats that you're experiencing through this game. It's yeah, I got stuff. Yeah. Oh, and the other director, Trench, who you found dead, and that's how you got the service weapon, he's talking to me. Somehow. Just keeps talking. I keep meeting him. Oh, where am I? Okay. This is a fun place. Again, look at this beautiful... Oh! Okay. Oh, I remember this. I played this demo at PAX East. It's a bit of a puzzle map. But not really, because there's like no... But isn't this beautiful? Like, how they've done this? It's just surreal. The level of technology in here. And I mean, I'm playing, as you can see, at a pretty beautiful level of quality. Okay, that's not the way. I'm just trying to find a control zone so I can teleport away. So I mean, when stuff like this happens, it does make me happy because, you know, you're getting a different experience than, you know, you would typically get in an action game, right? I'm trying to find my way. Okay. These crazy transforming walls. Okay, I'm missing something here. Evidently. Okay, yes. 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 This keeps bringing me back. It's the same place over and over again. So I am missing something, obviously. Okay. I think I'm a little early for this one, I think, maybe. It's okay. I'll find a parapsychology is where I'm supposed to be going anyway. Which is down here somewhere. Parapsychology. No, I've been in there. So, I mean, one of the neat things about this game is the you know, layer of secrets that, you know, Jessie has that, you know, she's discovering, and what that means as they start to go through this world. Oh, I remember this area. in the demo I saw at PAX East. So this is like this dilapidated area, overgrown, and yet there's, you know, computers and desks down here. So what happens in the oldest house is sometimes there's shifts, and when there's shifts, parts of the building go somewhere else, and that's kind of what happened here, which is why, you know, we've got, oh, there's a battery. Is there any batteries around? There we go. What did that power? An elevator. Okay, that's helpful. There's a door here. Where does that door bring me? So I don't have clearance level 4 yet. So that's not going to help me to get in this room. So I guess I got to come back here later. So this is Control, and I kind of wanted to show kind of a little idea of the freakiness that is this game and the combat, and, you know, oh, did you see that? Just randomly stopping. It's okay. I really should not keep dropping like that. And there's little things like that. One of the neat things about Control, as you saw when I kind of went to the pause screen, is there is a lot of scalability for upgrades. There are multiple outfits, although I only have one plus a pre-order one right now. I'm presuming we'll get some more later somehow. Those can only be changed from the access points, control points that I haven't been able to show you yet. But this game itself is I have to say, very freaky, very fun, and one that I'm really excited to keep exploring because I love Remedy. I've actually seen this previewed at a number of shows, MIGS and PAX East, and every time I see it, there's just this little bit more that kind of makes me excited to see what else they're going to come up with. And you know, as a result, they're one of my favorite developers, honestly. Alan Wake is hard to debate. The original Max Payne's, Quantum Break, interesting experiment and a really good game, but this one is shaping up to be pretty phenomenal in the fact of its depth, which I didn't expect. So when I tried demos of this as recently as PAX East this year, the story was barely teased. The control mechanics were there, and it was terrible frame rate, and I was playing on like high-end Alienware machines there. So they fixed so much of that in such a short period of time, and also flushed out a lot of the mechanics that weren't visible at the time, making this a game that, frankly, I'm enjoying the hell out of. So keep an eye out for reviews shortly, but this is Control. Until next time, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.